the word awareness. It is a state or condition of being aware or having knowledge of consciousness. So that means the word self is you, and the word awareness means being knowledgeable or knowing. So self-awareness means to do what? Knowing who?
You.
Knowing you, knowing yourself. All right. So in other words, that means to know what's going on about you, what's going on in you, how do you feel, what do you think about yourself. And as this relates to bullying, what happens is, as we had already stated, some of you understand that as you go out into everyday life, you're around your peers, you're in school, or you're just out on the playground, or you even at home, or wherever you may be, you have other people or other children that may not like the things that you do. They may not like the clothes that you wear. They may not like the hairstyle that you have, or they may not like the activities that you do, or they may not just not like you at all. And what happens is, once they continue to say mean things about you, say, well, we don't like what you don't dress nice, or you don't know how to play basketball, or you're not that good at what you do. What happens is, being self-awareness, what that does is, if you're not aware of it, what does that make you feel? How does it make you feel? Anybody that has ever been talked about, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel bad.
It makes you feel bad about yourself. Okay? It makes you feel bad about yourself. So everybody, if you ever been talked about, or you hear it makes you feel bad about yourself, right? So as self-awareness, what that does is, and once you feel bad about yourself, what happens? You start to get down, and you don't want to play anymore. Sometimes you want to hide, or sometimes you don't want to go out, or you want to stop doing what you're doing. But self-awareness, what that does is, it takes you, and that's what the thing for with the looking in the mirror to see what you see about yourself. Because when other people talk about you, or when other people say bad things about you, what happens is, you begin, if you're not careful, and if you just continue to listen to what they say, you begin to start to believe the things that they say about you. And what happens is, what we understand is that, we always hear the term, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. Who all have heard that before? But who all know that sometimes what bad people say, when they say things about you, they're using their words, right? And it does hurt, right? So sometimes that gets within you, and you start to believe that. So if someone were to tell you, what's your name? So if someone were to tell you, Miss Christina, that, well, I don't like the bow that you wear. If they tell you that all the time, I don't like the bow that you wear. They tell you that all the time. Well, if you're not self-aware, what happens is, you'll begin to start to believe that, and what it does is it makes you feel bad, and now you don't want to do it. You don't want to wear that bow anymore, or you may try to wear a different bow, or sometimes it may make you angry and make you want to retaliate. So what I want to do now is, as far as self-awareness, I just want to give you a few things that you can do to keep yourself to stay aware of yourself. There's a few things that you can do. There's 5 ways to stay self-aware. Sometimes one of the things you can do is create some space for yourself. And what that means is, sometimes you want to get off by yourself. Sometimes when you're playing, and you can do that. Get into the mirror and look at yourself, and say, you know what? Look at yourself and say, hey, I like the bow that I wear, or I think I'm pretty good at shooting basketball, or I think I'm pretty good at singing, or I think I'm pretty good when I usher or stand at the door. Whatever the case may be, you want to say these things. You want to say these good things to yourself as you look in the mirror. That way you can start to believe these things for yourself, okay? All right. And then you can, and if you all notice, you got a piece of paper and you got a tablet or a pad in your hand. And what you can do is, you can keep a journal. Or what you can do is, sometimes you can write down what you think. You understand? Write down how you feel. Because sometimes what that does is, when you write it down, it helps you to feel a little better about, because now you're trying to get it out. We don't want you to hold everything in. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Anybody got any questions? And we all know that who loves us, regardless of what people talk about us, or what some of the friends that we think we have, we all know who loves us. All right, so regardless of what somebody else says, it doesn't really matter, right? So from now on, what are some of the ways that you can do to stay self-aware? What is it? Talk up so we can hear. Okay, so as we finish, I just want a few people. All right, what does self-awareness mean? What have you learned? What does self-awareness mean? Come on.
Knowing that, like you have faith in yourself.
Okay, you believe in yourself. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Knowing that you can do, knowing that you can be successful at anything you want to do.
All right. And what are some of the? Oh, what did you say? Be confident. What are some of the ways that you can practice on being self-aware? Because you have to take some time for yourself sometimes. You understand? Does everybody know how to take some time for themselves? What does everybody got a hobby? Who like to? What's something that you like to do in your free time? When you don't have to go to school or you don't have to go to anything, what you like to do? Watch TV or play the game? Okay, that's taking time for yourself to figure out what you like to do. What do you like to do?
Play basketball.
Okay, so in your free time, you play basketball, and what that does, that helps you. You think you're pretty good at basketball, right? So that helps you as you play basketball. You can continue to tell yourself, "Hey, I'm gonna get better at this. I like doing this," and that gets you away from people talking about you. Okay? Somebody else had that. Excuse me, my man. What's your name? Huh? Did you have your hand raised? Oh, okay. All right.
What you got there?
You like to do it?
Yeah.
We can.
Because you very loud at home. What you like to do?
I would like to make myself designs of what I would like to do in the future.
Okay. All right. So that's one way. That's a couple of ways of being self-aware. You want to know. You have to. That's one of the reasons that we did the event with the mirror. So because what people say about you can hurt. If anybody has ever been talked about, we know what the things that they tell you sometimes can hurt. And then so what we want you to do is notice what these things that they're saying about you, but also remember that God loves you and that you love yourself first. Okay? That's why you're supposed to love yourself first. Because if you don't love you, who else will love you? All right. I mean, sometimes your friends won't love you, right? They're talking bad about you. Okay. So now we'll go to, and now so at this point in time, now what we'll do is we go to bully awareness. Everybody know what aware means again? What does aware mean? What does it mean?
It means to
Everybody move to the front. Make us feel better when we see you real good.
Do they got some children? Y'all come up. All right. So now we're gonna go to bullying awareness prep. What does aware mean again? Anybody know? What does the word aware mean?
it means to think good about yourself.
It means to know, right? To be knowledgeable, to notice something's going on, right? Okay. So now he's gonna tell you, Mr. Greg is gonna tell you about bullying awareness prep.
Bullying. They got with that with the bullying.
Anybody know what it is? Man in the back was first.
Bullying is something when people talk about you, or they just every time you see them or they see you, they push you around, and you can't tell anybody, but they just
I know it's hard to walk away, but sometimes you gotta walk away. Bullying. People come toward you. To try to take the pencil papers that we walk with, and ignore it. I know it's hard to do, but tell me you're a child of God, and God, if you do it. And another thing, if you be in school and as someone bother you, you'll find that up. Tell them if they don't do nothing, you go to your friends. And further do nothing, you go to the superintendent. And if they tell you be bullied at school and on school bus. Have everybody experienced bullying before? And we all like experienced bullying?
You would like to talk about it?
I was bullied.
Speak a little bit, baby.
When I was bullied in 4th grade, and I didn't know I really didn't bother me. They were trying to get my
Whoa. But you know you didn't do anything wrong, right?
How did it make you feel?
It really didn't make me feel good because I know they were trying to do it for me.
There you go.
All right. Anyone else?
You want something? You had your hand up. Not me.
At school, every day, almost every day, all the 3rd grade teachers talk about me.
And what did I say?
They talk about me and they say stuff about my hair and my clothes. And they tell my teachers that I'm purpose and they shouldn't listen to me.
And what have you felt? You felt bad. But what did you do after it happened? And she prepared you, right? There you go.
Anyone else?
Nobody? Well, now I'm going to tell you about the effects of bullying. I was bullied at home and at school. I was pushed around a lot. I was made to feel like I was nothing at all. Like I was made to feel like I was left in the dirt by my own feelings. And it made me feel worthless. I didn't get self-esteem until after I got out of high school. And I'm 28, gonna be 29 in a few weeks. And that really had an effect on me. I wanted to commit suicide. I actually tried 3 times. I became a self-harm person. I was a person that cut on myself. I was the emotional cutter because I was so used to feeling pain. And with that pain, that's all I knew. I would wake up crying, go to sleep crying. That's all I knew was pain. And when you know pain, you just always feel pain. Being an emotional cutter, it helped me, even though you could sit there and say, how did cutting yourself help you? It made me feel just like the norm. Because that was my norm. I was going to take one of my daddy's guns. I wrote a note to my parents and everything. I was in 10th grade. I never forget. I was ready. But God knew he was ready for me. And he sent somebody to me. And that stopped me. Then I realized how valuable I was to none of them. I mean, who were they? They were my siblings. They were supposed to love and protect me. But they didn't. They just liked to see me hurt. So I had to learn to look out for myself. I became depressed. I stopped eating. I lost weight. I stopped sleeping. I started pacing. A lot of things I got bullied for, I couldn't even control. The fact that I had a skin and scalp condition, I got bullied for that. What I wore, I got bullied for that. One of my brothers just told me he just hated to see me. So I got bullied for that. He hated my existence. So I was ready to take me out of that situation because I felt like, well, maybe I'm just making all them miserable. Maybe I should just go ahead and do it. But at the end of the day, they wouldn't have done nothing but hurt my mom and my dad. That's it. That just brings more questions. But now I can actually sit here and say that I prayed myself through a lot of things. I actually got to the point where I knew if I couldn't talk to nobody else, I could pray and I could talk to God and He could help me. I knew when nobody gonna save me, I had to put on the gloves, get in the ring, and fight for my own life. And that's what I had to do. And helping y'all helps me. Anybody else feel that bad sometimes? You do? Is what you going through that bad? Sometimes. But what would you do? You would take you from me, and then what? But then what would you do to me? You would hurt me, right? See, that's what you gotta think about too. Because you know you always could talk to me, right? And I always fight for you, right? Because you my kids. That's what you do. But if you can't go talk to your parents, that's a different story. I didn't feel like I could talk to my mom and my daddy because I didn't want to break their heart. So I dealt with my pain in silence. But now I can sit there and I can look at myself in the mirror. I can look at my skin. I see the cuts and bruises all the time. Don't mean nothing to me now. It just make it better, seems like. Because I can look at that and say, man, I was real low. But my scars go with every outfit I put on. I can look in that mirror and I know who I am. Took me a long time to get there. But now that I've been there, done that, I want to teach kids to know that they don't have to ever experience that kind of stuff alone. CJ, you ready? Now for this next exercise, we're going to teach you about blind faith and trust.
I can see all that.
And then when I come home with my clothes, my mama would give me another cookie. But maybe that means so I got it twice.
Yeah, a lot of kids want to learn self-esteem now in our school system. And that's terrible. We should never have to fight like this. Ever. Anybody feel?
You might have to pull a ponytail.
Oh, it's her plate right here.
Oh, I thought it was a ponytail.
Okay. CJ, you want to tell her where to go? You want to tell her where to go? Okay.
And what this exercise is, it's called blind faith. And sometimes what you have to do is, this is the part where when you're being bullied, and this is the part about self-awareness. Sometimes when you get bullied and when people start to hurt you with their words, sometimes what happens is you start to feel low and you don't know which way to turn. You don't know what to do. You don't know who, you feel low about yourself. Like, you heard Sister Trinessa say, sometimes you don't want to talk to your parent. Feel like you don't have anybody. But now what you can do is, what my little sister Myra is going to do is, this is where the part comes in where we're talking about praying to the Lord or praying your way through. And what happens is, you'll find you somebody that you'll find that the Lord will help you get through this. We'll give you some verses and scriptures later on that will help you, that you can read and also tell yourself to make you feel better about yourself. But this and what's gonna happen is Myra is gonna tell her in which direction to go. So this is what we want you to pay attention to, okay? Because at this point in time, what's your name? Cameron. So Cameron is one of the, she's one of the children that has been bullied. And she may be feeling a little low about herself. She don't know which way to turn. So now, Myra, what she's gonna do is she's gonna be like
A little prayer part.
she's gonna be like a little prayer partner, and she's gonna tell her, which way to go. What she's gonna tell her some good things about herself and tell her which way to turn and things like that. So this is what you have to do, for yourself sometimes. So this is what we want everybody to pay attention.
Which way?
Tell her-
Right. You got to tell her.
You gotta tell her. You can't tell her.
Turn left.
Your left or her left?
No.
Let's go forward. Turn right. Left, right. Turn left.
Myra, you didn't even warn her that. Myra, you but she won't focus. Oh, Lord, TJ. The struggle is real over there today. He ain't doing anything. Mary, you ain't even seen it. Oh, okay.
Give her
Give her
some
that.
give her
Myra,
some
you talking and
encouragement.
tell her what? She can't see your finger. Stop, baby. Stop. Just stop. Myra, go ahead. You in a minute. Anybody else wants to? Come on. Who want to be a part? Hey, what about?
One at a time. She's gonna point out somebody, okay?
No, man. Come on. You go next, man.
Hey, young man, do this for her. As you tell her which way to go, encourage her, okay? Tell her that she's doing a good job. Tell her that she's gonna make it through, okay? Can you do that? Because you gotta remember, she's feeling bad about it, okay? So people that hurt her, so she don't know which way to turn. She really don't want to. She don't want to go at all, okay? So you like her motivation.
You just stand still, I promise.
You like her motivation, okay? So as you tell her which way to go, as you tell her to go left or right, tell her she's doing a good job. Tell her she's gonna make it through. Give her some encouraging words, okay?
You not ready? Okay, we're gonna get ready to get ready. You ready?
Now you gotta stand close to her so you can tell her which way to go, okay?
Stop.
You have to tell them first right. They can't see y'all fingers, they're blindfolded.
You gotta be her eye. Give us some encouragement words. Everybody got to be paying attention, okay? Everybody listen. So if your turn comes, that's the way you'll know what to do, okay?
Look at you, I have going. My pencil.
Who want me blindfolded?
You said me.
Wait a minute. We go. Okay, everybody, I need everybody to sit down, okay? If you're not up, I need you to sit down.
You gonna be quiet?
Okay, look, I need everybody to stop right now. Pay attention. Get your candy, get your paper, and everybody put it.
I like that.
I need you to sit down, okay? And I need everybody to pay attention to what's going on, all right? So what are they doing right now? Okay?
Blindfolded.
Okay, the person that's blindfolded, what are they doing? Okay, now the person that's being blindfolded, what's wrong with them? What has happened to them? They've been bullied, and how are they feeling? Okay, so and the young man that's telling them which way to go, what is he? He's like what?
You're a guy, right?
He's a guide.
Y'all helping each other through this thing.
He comforts them. He tells them good things about themselves. Tells them they're doing a good job. Give them some encouraging words. Okay. So now pay attention and watch how he do it. Okay.
Right.